Good evening and welcome. Thanks very much for tuning in to NDTV. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on every story that matters, the biggest political story, the headline of the day, the buck stops here. Finally, it has happened. In an unprecedented development which none of us would have thought possible, today the Prime Minister of India's address inside the Lok Sabha was stopped. It had to be postponed. After a day full of sloganeering, disruptions and perhaps the lowest that we have seen proceedings go inside the Indian Parliament so far. The PM was supposed to address the Lok Sabha at 5 p.m. on the President's speech, but minutes before that, the House was adjourned for the day. The reason? Women opposition MPs, including Congress's Varsha Gaikwad and Jyoti Mani, surrounded the chair that the Prime Minister was supposed to be on. They were holding a large banner that read, "Do what is right." The result? As soon as House proceedings began at 5, the Speaker adjourned the House until tomorrow morning. Now, the opposition is saying that the Prime Minister ran away because he was scared of facing the truth. He was scared of the campaign that has been launched by Congress's Rahul Gandhi over a book yet unpublished by former Army Chief General Naravane.
You asked PM why he is not coming.
What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think?
You asked the PMO. You
What
asked
do you
the
think,
PMO.
sir? What do you think?
You see is this a parliament or any other center? The government is trying to make it a mockery. We are not going to allow all these things.
आने से डर गए सदन में और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे लड़कियों को।
ये दुर्भाग्य है संसदीय इतिहास में राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पर इस तरह का हंगामा करे, ये तो अबोध बालक की तरह कर रहे हैं। क्या समझते हैं? समझते हैं कि नेहरू खानदान का राज है, दूसरा कोई नहीं आ सकता है। ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का दफ्तर है या सोनिया गांधी का घर है।
The point is that this is only a culmination of absolute cacophony that has defined Parliament proceedings over the last 3 days. Ever since Rahul Gandhi was scheduled to speak on the President's address, he has insisted over the last 3 days on quoting from former Army Chief General Naravane's unpublished book. This has led to adjournments, the throwing of paper at the Lok Sabha Speaker, the Speaker being called Yar, the suspension of 8 opposition MPs thereafter, and just when you thought that things couldn't get any worse, they did. Today, Rahul Gandhi brought what he claimed is a copy of that very book to Parliament. He showed that book to the media and insisted that since he has a copy in his hand, hence the source that he wants to quote from is authenticated. The only problem is that in India at least, there is no such book. It has not been printed yet. It hasn't been given a clearance by the Ministry of Defence. Priyanka Gandhi on her part said that this book had been bought off Amazon, except that at least in India, this book is not available on Amazon. I checked. At least in India, you can't buy it online. Then what does one make of this book that is being bandied about? Is it a dummy? Is it just a book cover? The Congress also said that it is already in print in America. Has it been obtained from there? On the other hand, the BJP also had a counter book bomb to lob. It fielded its Jharkhand MP, Nishikant Dubey. He also had a list of his own books. He produced this list of books based on the Nehru Gandhi family, which he said that were only showing how the personal life and the policy decisions of a number of members of the Nehru Gandhi family was extremely dubious. It showed those decisions or their lives in poor light. In fact, he went so far as to say that whenever any book shed light on the so-called Gaddari, Makkari and Bhrashtachar of the first family of the Congress, these books weren't even allowed to see the light of day.
I don't think PM will have the guts to come to the Lok Sabha today. Because if he comes, I'm going to give him this book. So if PM comes, I will go physically and hand him this book. So he can read it. And उनको पता लग जाए कि उनकी सच्चाई क्या है, देश को पता लग जाए. ये सरकार कह रही है कि किताब है ही नहीं. Speaker has said that this book does not exist. Government has said this book does not exist. Rajnath Singh ji has said this book does not exist. Every youngster in India should see that this book exists. This is Mr. Naravane's book. नारावने जी की किताब है. इसमें उन्होंने पूरा अकाउंट लिखा है जो लद्दाख का जो अकाउंट था और मुझे कहा गया है सॉरी ये रहा और मुझे कहा गया है कि मैं इस बुक को कोट नहीं कर सकता हूं।
सभापति महोदय, यहाँ किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है, एक किताब पर चर्चा चल रही है, वो किताब जो आज तक छपी ही नहीं। मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन को उस किताब के बारे में, उन किताबों के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं जो नेहरू परिवार, कांग्रेस परिवार के गद्दारी, मक्कारी, भ्रष्टाचार और अय्यासी से भरा पड़ा है, और वो सब छपी हुई किताब है सर।
तो जब सरकार चाहती है कि कुछ डिसरप्शन करना है तो वो उनको उठाते हैं। अब आप बताइए, अगर एलओपी को बोलने नहीं दिया, एलओपी को एक किताब जो प्रकाशित है, जो आज आपके सामने भी दिखाई है उन्होंने कि प्रकाशित किताब है, अमेज़न से खरीदी गई प्रकाशित किताब है, उससे कोट नहीं करने दे रहे। आप नियम कह रहे हो कि ये नियम का उल्लंघन है। तो अब ये महाराज उठे हैं और ये 6 किताबें सामने दिखा रहे हैं, उनमें से कोट कर रहे हैं, आप कुछ नहीं कह रहे हैं। इनका माइक चला जा रहा है। और किस लिए कराया गया? ये सरकार स्पष्ट दिखाना चाहती है कि इस संसद में सिर्फ उनकी चलती है।
So where does that leave us now? Is this where we are at, where the Prime Minister will not be allowed to speak in the Parliament of India, where former Prime Ministers will be spoken of as Gaddar and Makkar? And if this is how things remain, are we set to plumb even greater depths? Is this really the end of decent discourse, and that too in our Parliament, in our Lok Sabha, in our Rajya Sabha? Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Suhail Seth, columnist, political analyst Tushar Gupta joins us, and senior journalist Ashutosh and Rashid Kidwai also both here with us. I'll start with you, Tuhin Sinha, because today the Congress is saying very clearly you did not want to have a discussion on General Naravane's book, which is why the Prime Minister himself did not come for this speech. This is something, in fact, that Rahul Gandhi had said right in the morning, that the government cannot face me up, which is why the Prime Minister will not come.
Good evening, Padmasha. Good evening, everybody. Rahul Gandhi is delusional. Wait for one more day. The moment, Prime Minister Modi starts his speech and, when he ends it tomorrow, Rahul Gandhi will be so embarrassed that he will not be seen in Parliament for the next several days. But I think, it's a very dark day today, and certain things need to be settled on your show. Number one, who is a Gaddar? To my understanding, a Gaddar is a person who barely 10 days after the announcement of ceasefire, on Operation Sindoor, tries to convert a victory into surrender just to emerge as a star in the Pakistani media. A Gaddar is a person who goes around the world vitiating and demonizing Indian democracy without any evidence. A Gaddar is a person who goes to the Chinese embassy during the Decorum crisis to find out information when he could have easily gone to the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. Now, if that is the kind of word that Rahul Gandhi uses to a fellow member of Parliament simply because the fellow member of Parliament did not deem it necessary to continue under Rahul Gandhi's leadership, that kind of a person does not have any parliamentary etiquette. So number one,
let him speak in Parliament and expose him. Let him speak. Ultimately, this will happen. People will read this book, Tuhin Sinha. You cannot walk away from the fact.
Who says Prime Minister is not speaking? The Prime Minister will be speaking tomorrow, but the point is the way they have vitiated the atmosphere. Even by the way, even if we go by the excerpts which Rahul Gandhi is presenting, what is, so wrong in it?
If there is nothing wrong in the excerpt, which is what I have been saying for the last 3 days, there's nothing wrong in the excerpt. Why don't you just let him speak? Because you end up sounding defensive and partially guilty. Just let him speak. Let him expose himself.
There are rules that need to be followed, which he's aware of. You can't be quoting from unpublished work. And, he's a master of fakery. He's a master of deception. Today, he's carrying the cover of the book. In the past, we have seen him carry the cover of a constitution without the constitution inside. So wait for a day tomorrow. The way he will be embarrassed tomorrow, he will probably struggle to be in Parliament for the next several days.
Okay, so unimaginable scene, Suhail Seth, where you had the Prime Minister physically stopped from speaking because you had lady members of Parliament who surrounded his seat. What do you make of this? Who really is to be blamed for the kind of scenes that we are seeing over the last 3 days?
I would blame Om Birla. He should throw these people out. As simple. Expel them. They are doing all this nonsense on my dime. I'm a taxpayer of this country. If these jokers can't behave themselves, throw them out. They have no business to be in Parliament. The Congress believes it's an entitled brat of hoodlums. Any political party, irrespective of whether it's the Congress or whichever party, if you do not set rules in motion, these people will be emboldened. Now let me come to Rahul Gandhi. It's ironic that that man flashes a book. I can't imagine him ever having read anything in his life. Because if he had, then he would have realized that sobriety is the gateway to gravitas. Not this petulant kind of behavior. You behave like this when you're a street urchin. Even they behave better. Is this the behavior you expect from the leader of opposition? And we are paying for this guy's house for his goddamn security? You know, I'm tired, Padmaja, of constantly saying this on every television channel, that the Gandhis have been given too long a rope by which they hang every institution of India. Whether they hang themselves or not is not the issue. They hang every institution. Why? They believe they're above the law. They believe they're above the country. They believe they're above process. I mean, what the hell is going on? This man calls a fellow member of parliament traitor. Is this the kind of behavior we expect from a 53 or 54-year-old chap? He's a goddamn shame to his family. He's a shame to Nehru's thinking. He's a shame to Rajiv Gandhi's excellent behavior as a human being. Are these the kind of people you want to trust your opposition party with?
Okay.
The Prime Minister did the wisest thing by walking out. You never fight with a pig because you get dirty and the pig loves it.
Okay.
This is utter nonsense. I don't care who on this panel are aligned with whoever. Whichever politician behaves this way must be shown the door. Expel them because they are disregarding process, respect of parliamentary democracy, and interrupting proceedings.
Okay, Ashutosh,
when will work get done?
So now we are at a point where Parliament is literally turning into a situation of someone trying to wrestle with pigs. Too long a rope being given to the Congress. That's the way to say it.
Live television. What example are you setting for people? You know, Ashutosh smiles. I mean, his smile may say a lot of things, but it's not that as if Ashutosh's erstwhile party was was well behaved. That's why he had to leave. Apart from shedding tears on television one day, his entire life was messed up by his association with Arvind Kejriwal.
Okay. Let's limit ourselves to what happened today, Ashutosh.
I really enjoy what Suhail says, because he's always he doesn't he always says a spade. So good.
But he uses the gateway of sobriety always.
Yeah. But I think Suhail sometimes he just crosses the line, because he was talking about Rahul Gandhi, and I think I should remind that Suhail that what Bittu has said about Rahul Gandhi on 15 September 2024, that he's a terrorist number one. He was a minister.
Terrible comment. Terrible comment. Two wrongs don't make a right, Ashutosh. मैं आपको अगर उल्लू बोलूं तो आप मेरे को भी उल्लू बोलोगे. आपको respect होनी चाहिए. If Bittu is stupid to make that comment, that doesn't mean Rahul Gandhi should be equally stupid. Then should we have owls in parliament? It is a parliament of owls, but should we have owls in parliament? What kind of rubbish here, Ashutosh? I mean, a man of your integrity and intensity and intellect cannot justify this nonsense.
Ashutosh.
I'm not judging anybody. I'm just only reminding that from where the thing started, and I'll go back to the Prime Minister. He said every action has a reaction equal in the equal reaction. So I'm just only following the Prime Minister's Modi's footstep. What is important here is, and I think Suhail has rightly pointed out, Om Birla has to be blamed, because Om Birla is sitting on the chair. So he should not have two rules. There cannot be two rules. If Rahul Gandhi cannot quote a book or a magazine which is not related to the presidential address, then how come Nishikant Dubey can be allowed to quote a book, and which is malicious in nature? And if Nishikant can quote the book, I can also quote this particular book.
No, Nishikant, if I've understood right, 1 minute, Ashutosh.
And
Nishikant
on the page
has
number
quoted a
25,
published book.
what Balraj Madhok has written about Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Nanaji Deshmukh, I dare not say that. I dare not say that.
Ashutosh, I'll just come to the books in a second. But today, when you're talking about action being taken, I will come to the point of why those books were quoted, why was that liberty given. But tell me honestly, when you're talking about parliamentary propriety, can lady members of parliament surround the seat of the Prime Minister and stop him from speaking? Because this was a face-off which would have become completely out of hand. You don't allow the Prime Ministers to speak in our Lok Sabha.
Padmaja, pardon me saying so, but I think the Prime Minister has been badly advised. And I'll cite a simple example. A few years back, when the Prakash Singh Badal was the Chief Minister, Aam Aadmi Party leaders decided to gherao Prakash Singh Badal. They went to his house. And when Prakash Singh Badal was advised not to go out, Prakash Singh Badal said nothing doing. He came out with the folded hands और बोले अरे आप लोग तो इतनी ठंड में यहाँ मौजूद हैं, चलिए कम से कम नाश्ता वास्ता करिए, चाय वाय पीजिए, बैठ के बात करेंगे ना. And Aam Aadmi Party didn't know what to do. The Prime Minister should have come, should have listened to these women.
I told them what? That please come and sit in my seat in Parliament.
And
yeah,
after that,
what's wrong with you today?
Let me complete. And if the women MPs, Congress MPs, had misbehaved with him, the onus was on the Congress party.
But Ashutosh,
could have turned the table.
The
Prime Minister did not.
The last 3 days where papers are being thrown at the speaker, we've had the speaker being called a yar, and then it was justified. Do you really think we are at a point where someone is going to feel guilty about violating parliamentary propriety? That if things came down to a point that there would be fisticuffs or pushing around, people would feel, oh, the onus is on me, and feel embarrassed about it. I think that ship has sailed.
Padmaja, every political party in opposition has behaved in the same fashion. BJP cannot say that it had never done something like this. So let's not get into this. Let's not get into this. Sway, let me speak.
No, yeah, you speak logic. Today, I think you have replaced yourself with a doppelganger.
Sway, you are interrupting me. Sway, you are interrupting me. I did not interrupt.
Today, I think
Sway, I did not interrupt. Let me speak.
You kept smiling.
What I'm saying is, what has happened, what has happened? For the first time in Indian political history, leader of opposition was not allowed to complete his speech, and the Prime Minister was not there to say a vote of thanks on the presidential. This is bizarre, this is unprecedented, this is historic, this should not have happened.
Okay, you are absolutely right. This is bizarre and this is unprecedented, but Tushar Gupta, Ashutosh thinks that maybe the Prime Minister should have just come in. He was badly advised because after all, we've seen the ruckus going on. The LOP wasn't allowed to speak, and every action has an equal and opposite reaction. आप राहुल गांधी को मत बोलने दीजिए, वो प्रधानमंत्री को नहीं बोलने देंगे.
Good evening, Padmaja. Look, there is a fine difference. It wasn't that the LOP wasn't allowed to speak. The LOP was asked to follow the rules of the Parliament, which clearly state that you cannot quote from a book that has not been published. So let's drop this pretense that Rahul Gandhi wasn't allowed to speak. Point number 1. Point number 2, Rahul Gandhi wants to selectively quote from an article that itself selectively quotes from a book that Rahul Gandhi claims has been published abroad. He's not willing to tell us the country, he's not willing to tell us the publisher, he's not willing to tell us the source. Nevertheless, if that article is to be taken on face value, the same article says that after the Prime Minister advised the General, we gained a strategic advantage in the Kailash range. Rahul Gandhi won't quote that. Point number 3, Rahul Gandhi talks about operations in China. He talks about an article that also quotes another soldier, Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi. And Y.K. Joshi has written a book. And in his book about the China operations, after Galwan, he says that we had an upper hand against the PLA. We gave them a befitting reply. Rahul Gandhi will not quote that. Point number 4, Rahul Gandhi to the media says that the Prime Minister is abdicating his responsibility by telling the military कि आपको जो लगे, जो आपको उचित लगे वो आप करिए. The last time Prime Minister said that to the military, we had Operation Sindoor. We bombed a nuclear neighbor from Skardu to Karachi. So Rahul Gandhi wants the country to believe that this Prime Minister abdicates his responsibility, this Defense Minister abdicates their responsibility, but they end up bombing a nuclear neighbor from Skardu to Karachi. Point number 5 and my final point. Rahul Gandhi wants to quote from a book. Fair enough. The BJP can quote from dozens of books which will leave the party, the family, with no moral credibility. They don't already have any political credibility, but they won't have any moral credibility to contest the elections. Is that what we want? Is that how we are going to decide?
No, then why not? Tushar Gupta, okay, hold on a second. All these 5 points that you have made on the buck stops here, why can't you
Rahul
agree on these
Gandhi.
5 points inside Parliament?
Padmaja.
This is the stubbornness which I don't understand. Because if you
that's why
dug
you
in
should
your
take action.
heels, then the Congress
Om
is going
Birla
to
should take
reciprocate.
action. Throw the people out. Why is Om Birla being so intellectually impotent, if I could use the phrase, as in not acting? He should throw them out.
Because Suhail
He's the
said,
goddamn
in
speaker.
that case, you will have all the Congress members out. All of the Congress
Throw them out.
is also being supported by the Samajwadi
By having
Party.
them there,
They
by
are
having
saying
them
it's a
there,
principal
it's not
matter
as if they are
of
providing
freedom of
any
expression.
enduring intellectual heft. By having the Congress there, it's not as if we are smelling of roses intellectually. Throw them out at least. See, Padmaja, my point is very simple.
Okay.
I'm a citizen of India. I don't give a damn about any political party. Parliament is supposed to function. If Parliament is not functioning, there are only two people responsible for it. Either the politicians or the Speaker.
No, you are absolutely right. But in this particular case, there has to be a meeting point. And my simple question to you, Tushar Gupta, is this. You said that Rahul Gandhi wants to quote from General Naravane's book. The BJP has 30 books which today were listed out by Nishikant Dubey to embarrass the Nehru Gandhi family and the Congress. Then do it. If he's thrown down the gauntlet, do it. Why do you want to look defensive? Do it.
No, but
absolutely. The BJP should do it, and the BJP should start doing it tomorrow. Every MP should be assigned a book to quote from. My point here is,
are we running Parliament? Are we running a goddamn book club?
Parliament, you cannot quote from an unpublished book. No, hold on. Mr. Suhail said, please wait.
India's Parliament.
Padmaja, also the point about the Congress IT cell. Can I not be interrupted, please?
Okay, just 30 seconds. Finish your point. I really must bring in Rashid
Also the point
Kidwai.
about the Congress IT. Yeah, the Congress IT cell is calling Ravneet Singh Bittu a traitor. This is an MP who, like Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, have lost a grandparent to terrorism from Punjab. Now, why are Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi victims, but Ravneet Singh Bittu is a traitor? Why this hypocrisy from the Congress?
Okay, is this a goddamn book club, says Suhail Seth, Rashid Kidwai, and this is going to be a bottomless pit, where basically we have started a mud flinging match where each side, if you had Rahul Gandhi day before yesterday bringing General Naravane's book, and it's not to be seen in isolation, by the way. Subsequently, you had 2-3 AI generated videos which were put out by the Congress, which frankly I don't think I should be putting out on national TV, which basically showed the Prime Minister shivering in his shoes. It said that, General Naravane was speaking to Rajnath Singh and Rajnath Singh hung up on him. I mean, is this the kind of muckraking that we want to reduce our parliament to?
Padmaja, what is happening is very unfortunate and uncalled for. But remember, political civility is not a one-way street. It is the job of the government of the day to run parliament. Disruption is as much as a part of parliamentary practices and procedure as it is the smooth functioning. So it is very elitist to say disruption is not permitted. Mr. Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj umpteen number of times between 2004 to 14 kept saying this and kept practicing it when they were leaders of opposition in two houses. What is being said, I think the BJP messed up, in terms of optics by opposing what Rahul Gandhi was saying or talking. Mr. Defense Minister is a very competent man. He could have given point by point rebuttal. It is not that General Naravane has not written a book. The book has been written and it's waiting to distribution. It's being stalled by some bureaucrats. Just as during Rajiv Gandhi's time, the several books were banned, or earlier time. Banning books is never a solution, just as expulsion is never a solution. Both sides need to show some kind of civility and maturity.
But Rashid Kidwai, don't you think there is a difference in degrees? You're absolutely right. And actually, I've gone back and read many of those debates online which were had at the time when the BJP was in opposition. And both the Treasury and the opposition benches used to be far more dignified. Now you've got the speaker being called Yar. Over the last 3 days, multiple times papers have been thrown at the speaker.
You saw how they behaved with Jagdeep Dhankar?
You've got a massive banner with Jeffrey Epstein's picture next to that of the Prime Minister being displayed on Makar Dwar. This is not decent discourse. Is this opposition? This is downright, I mean, you're basically wrestling with pigs. That's what is happening. Suhail Seth wants to make a point, and then Rashid Kidwai coming back.
My limited point is, no matter who it is.
Padmaja, please allow me to complete.
1 minute, yeah,
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you.
1 minute, I didn't interrupt you.
This is a selective outrage.
1 minute. Rashid Kidwai has written many books on the Congress. Discuss those. At least they are published. The difference is as follows. Half the people in Parliament have not read books. I'm saying this publicly. The half that has read books have read books that they can't even comprehend, perhaps. The point, Padmaja, is Parliament is meant to discuss our progress as a country. We have many things going for us. Day before yesterday or yesterday, the trade deal was announced. We are now becoming the Republic of Rage. Everyone is pissed off. With what? If Rahul Gandhi wants to, create anger, or if he's bitter, he should galvanize his party and win an election. There is no point constantly abusing Narendra Modi. In fact, Rahul Gandhi is the enduring gift for Modi. Because of his behavior, Modi keeps winning. B, you tell me, Padmaja, as you very rightly said, in the good old days, there was respect for the individual, but there was a greater respect for the office. I'm saying you may have disrespect for the individual. Today, even the office is being disrespected. You saw what Kalyan Banerjee and the other Johnnies did with Mr. Dhankar, the way they mimicked him outside Parliament. Are these the role models? You want people to believe that these are your role models?
Rashid Kidwai.
I mean, Rahul Gandhi is the role model for modern India. He keeps talking about the youth. What role model is he? To behave with elders in this manner?
Jagdeep Dhankar's name has been brought.
Yeah, 1 minute, yeah, Rashid. You know, while you're a great loyalist, 1 minute. While you're a great loyalist, while you're a great loyalist,
please don't make personal remarks. Mr. Suhail said, you may be making very sweeping remarks. Please don't make personal remarks. You are just being a parliamentarian.
I'm saying Mr. Dhankar was mimicked or not. Answer my question.
Mr. Kidwai, yes, please, no personal remarks on anyone.
Was there a mimicry of Mr. Dhankar or not?
No, I am saying just a thing that we do not know why Mr. Dhankar resigned. We do not know why the President of India was going to resign. We have not had answer till date.
I'm asking a simple question. You're answering it with a different answer.
Me.
I'm asking you, was Dhankar mimicked and was that in bad form? You're saying we must ask for his resignation. Next, you'll ask me about his diet. I'm asking a limited question. Was Mr. Dhankar mimicked? The answer is yes.
Okay, the ship on civility has sailed. Rashid Kidwai, please respond. Yes.
Simple. I'm not making sweeping.
And there's this mutual distrust which is going to be very difficult to get rid of. Rashid Kidwai.
Padmaja, we must understand a very simple thing. Parliament is an assembly of members of Parliament. Members of Parliament represent will of the people. As things stand today, Padmaja, the opposition represents 47% of the will of the people, whereas the ruling side represents 53%
this is not the will of the people.
The popular will. So there has to be
bad behavior versus
there has to be balance. You cannot expel. Opposition.
Is Jeffrey Epstein the will of the people, Tushar
Gupta? Rashid, my point is, my friend, you start listening to debates properly. I said no matter which politician, which political party, they behave badly.
I think we will come back to Rahul.
Yeah, Rashid, आज क्या हो गया आपको? आप थोड़ा सुन तो लो बातें.
This is a very weak point. The Parliament formulates laws for every citizen of this country, not only for those who vote for the government. Please do not say that the opposition with this behavior represents the will of the country. They are not. They are actually an obstacle to the progress of the country. The Parliament, the government of India is formulating laws for every single citizen, even those who did not vote for them. Please do not call Rahul Gandhi's despicable behavior the will of the people. It is not the will of the people.
Can I come in?
Coming to you, Ashutosh, when we're talking about the will of the people, the irony was that today, when there were people standing outside Makar Dwar and, holding up that Epstein photo, when there were people calling Ravneet Singh Bittu a traitor and that entire face-off was happening, a member of Parliament of the Congress, Manish Tiwari, moved a motion asking for a statement on the India-US trade deal. The irony is when Piyush Goyal made that statement, he was disrupted. Why is Manish Tiwari not the will of the people, but Rahul Gandhi is the will of the people?
Padmaja, I think a few seconds back, the Sohail Seth was talking about the dignity of the House. Where was the dignity of the nation when Mr. Puri and Mr. Anil Ambani were taking the help of a convicted pedophile, claiming that they represent government of India and seem to be lobbying for the government of India? Well, are we a country reduced to something like this? No. Is it true? And Hardeep Puri is a minister now. He said the exotic islands, entertainment, something like this. That means he knew everything what the Epstein was, and he was trying to be friendly with Epstein. For what? Anil Ambani was representing whom? And the Prime Minister name had come up. Now, are we talking about the dignity of the House or the dignity of the nation?
We are talking about the dignity of the House.
Where are we now?
My
recommendation is, Ashutosh, the next time you come for an NDTV debate, ask Padmaja what the topic of the debate is.
Yeah, on the specific issue, we are talking about what is happening inside Parliament.
I'm just responding to what Sohail has said about the dignity of the House.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the bigger picture. Where's the dignity of the nation?
Talk about that.
We are taking the...
Globally,
we were seen to be... As a country, we are seen to be taking the help of a convicted pedophile.
Okay, so with the greatest of respect, I think you're taking things a little out of context. We can have a separate and a very detailed debate on what exactly is in the Epstein files and what Mr. Puri was doing there. He was basically pushing for India's case, but because that text is not on air right now, I don't think our viewers will really get the context. Point number one.
No, Padmaja.
Point number two. Point number two. Do you think, sir, we're talking about
the help of a convicted pedophile?
Sir, do you really think, and I think it's very important for our viewers to have context. So if we want to talk about the Epstein files, we must quote the exact contents of the email that have been exchanged between Jeffrey Epstein and a sitting union minister. Because quoted out of context, it would be very, very unfair. What was the correspondence?
I'm only saying...
What was the intention? That there are no pictures and he was never on the island.
No.
What I'm only saying was lobby for India's interest with Jeffrey Epstein to a lobbyist. But sir, if I can bring you back to the topic.
This is a classic case.
10 seconds.
My
only objection
is... Okay, one at a time, please, Suhail. Because I really must bring in Tuhin Sinha. He should answer for the BJP on this.
Last 10 seconds.
Yes, please.
10 seconds. Padmaja, 10 seconds. My only objection is, whole world knew who the Epstein was. He was convicted in 2008, a pedophile, a rapist. And why somebody representing government of India or claiming to represent government of India was lobbying and taking the help of Epstein?
Okay, let me ask you this, sir. Do you think it is dignified to say that the India-US trade deal, because that was the banner held up, since we're talking about civility and dignity of the House, is it dignified to suggest through a banner and insinuation that the India-US trade deal was signed because the government is compromised before Jeffrey Epstein? Do you think that is factually, morally, ethically correct?
Only the Congress can answer to that. I'm only saying, have we reduced ourselves to that level that we needed the help of this man?
Here for a minute.
Okay, only 1 minute. So I want to bring in Tuhin Sinha on this because he holds the brief for the BJP.
This is what I'm seeing happens with reasonably intelligent people in a debate. The debate is about parliamentary decorum. We are discussing a parliamentary impasse. We are discussing how Parliament over the years has seen rapid decline. We are not discussing anything beyond that. Because we talk about the dignity of the nation. The dignity of the nation is also about a party that came to power representing the people and built mansions for themselves, which you smartly enough left at the right time. My limited point, Padmaja, is if Parliament is not functioning, Arun Jaitley famously said, the business of running the Parliament or running Parliament is the government's. If the government is not able to run Parliament, if opposition does not allow Parliament to be run, the Speaker should run the Parliament. If the Speaker is unable to run Parliament, he should resign.
This is big, and frankly, it is quite a shame that the Prime Minister, now it's turning out because of the disruptions, may not be able to speak at all. He was scheduled to speak in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow. He was to speak in the Lok Sabha today, and the motion of thanks to the President's address may be passed without the Prime Minister speaking at all. Who is to blame for this?
And if I were Narendra Modi, I never will be. If I were Narendra Modi, I would not even bother anymore.
You're not, so let
Complete breakdown. Complete breakdown. Imagine, I mean, this is where we are at. We are at a point where the speaker is being called Yar, and I also must say that a member of parliament today from your party, Tuhin Sinha, used words which had to be expunged for the Gandhi-Nehru family, for people who have been former prime ministers of our country. To use words like Gaddari, Makkari, Ayyashi for a former prime minister, where is the dignity in that?
If it's a BJP MP, I don't know who it was, he should be expelled.
Can I come in, please? I think you've been very vocal today. Thank you. Allow me to come in, please. You know, Padmaja, the way the Congress party is obsessing over Epstein, it would not be wrong to call them Epstein National Congress, because, you know, they are quoting him out of context. They are turning out to be cheerleaders for Epstein. So anyway, that is their choice. The country will continue to punish them every election. But as far as Rahul Gandhi's behavior and the behavior of Congress party is concerned, please understand that over the last few years, Rahul Gandhi has realized that he cannot debate any issue on merit. And I will just give you 2 or 3 instances. In January 2019, when the then defense minister, a lady defense minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, was answering important questions on Rafale, do you remember what Rahul Gandhi and his team were doing? They were throwing paper planes. They were winking throughout the discussion. When in July 2024, Prime Minister was making his first speech in Parliament in Modi 3.0, what was Rahul Gandhi doing for the first 20-25 minutes? As a goon, he was sending people to disrupt his speech. So I think today the Prime Minister has done the right thing. The Rahul Gandhi's only aim is to embarrass the nation. He wants to create ugly, obnoxious visuals about India across the world. Prime Minister did the right thing by not speaking today. But let me also assure you, when he speaks tomorrow, for the next many days, Rahul Gandhi...
No, it's likely he's not going to speak at all. That's the news that we're breaking right now. It's likely the PM won't speak at all. The motion of thanks to the President's address will be passed without an address of the Prime Minister.
MPs are behaving, given the way Congress MPs are behaving like Naxals in Parliament, you may have had worse...
Okay, Ashutosh. Congress behaving like Naxals inside Parliament. Then coming to Tushar Gupta. Congress behaving like Naxals.
I have heard these high-sounding words in 2015 when the Delhi Assembly elections were happening. The Prime Minister was saying Arvind Kejriwal and the team is urban Naxal, their place in jungle. And you know what happened? Aam Aadmi Party got 67 seats. The Delhi did not listen to Prime Minister.
You're in a time
let's not get into all this. Let's not get into all this because this is frivolous, this is rhetorical, has no substance. The point is important. What is the point is important? The Prime Minister should not be seen to be running away from opposition, and he should come to the Parliament. He should address, he should expose opposition and the Congress. Because the Prime Minister...
At what cost, sir?
Prime Minister
because I fear that there will be actual fisticuffs. The way we are going right now, there could be actual fisticuffs tomorrow.
No, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen, I can tell you.
Nothing will happen, Tushar.
But Prime Minister should not be seen to be running away. You know what? Last time the Prime Minister...
Padmaja, let me be very clear.
Shouting all the time, trying to disrupt. And if Congress disrupt House,
Padmaja,
where are the marshals?
Padmaja.
Okay, make it happen, Tushar.
Okay, Padmaja, let's be very clear about one thing. The Prime Minister communicating to the Parliament and to the country is 100 times more important than the theatrics of Rahul Gandhi, a silver spoon scion. It's more important than the theatrics of the Grand Old Party of India, which has been rejected by the electorate time and again. Even if it takes expelling the MPs who are acting like rowdies inside the Parliament, even if it takes expelling them from the Lok Sabha, from the Rajya Sabha, it should be done, but it's very, very important that the government of India communicates with the people of India. That is what matters at the end of the day. The Parliament, the country cannot be held hostage by a silver spoon scion who has had more launches than SpaceX in a single year. It cannot happen. It cannot be allowed. We should move on from Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
The Parliament should move on from Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, I would just like to make a bit of a correction. As more information is coming in, I think it's very important to put this on record. The Prime Minister's reply in the Lok Sabha is unlikely tomorrow as well. The motion of thanks may be passed in the Lok Sabha without the Prime Minister's speech. However, in the Rajya Sabha, he is likely to speak at 5 p.m. Let's hope at least in the House of Elders, better sense prevails. But today, the other thing that happened, that I spoke of Nishikant Dubey, which Tuhin Sinha sidestepped that question. He quoted a number of books. So, Rashid Kidwai, do you think then now we need to have a conversation on all of these books as well? Because he said that there are a number of books, some of of which have been banned. Some of them are still in the public domain. And all of these should now be debated in Parliament as well. You've got Bofor's Gate by Chitra Subramaniam. You've got Edwina and Nehru by Catherine Clement. You've got Reminiscence of the Nehru Age by Mr. Mathai, which in fact parts of it is quite salacious. The other books that he also referred to, in fact, some of them are books which talk about the Sino-India War. There are books like, for example, The Red Sari, Javier Moro. This book was banned when the UPA was in government. You've got Indira, The Life of Indira Gandhi by Catherine Frank, Nehru, A Political Biography by Michael Brescher, and The Heart of India by Alexander Campbell. Now, should we sit inside Parliament and discuss General Naravane's book also? Then we have a discussion on all these 12 books that Nishikant Dubey spoke of today. Rashid Kidwai?
Well, Padmaja, first of all, whatever is being said, a lot of it is factually wrong and inaccurate. Many of these books that you are referring to, including Kathleen Frank and Moro's book, this is all available in any bookshop that you know.
It is. The Heart of India is not.
And we
so
must
about 5-6 of them are banned, sir. I wanted to make that qualification.
General writing his memoirs and not being allowed to and there is a categorical difference between an army chief, retired army chief, writing his memoirs and not being allowed to be published by the bureaucrat sitting in the Ministry of Defence, and the kind of trash or the kind of porn literature that is there in the public domain. If we are equating them at par, then it's very much. Parliament of India is empowered to discuss anything and anything under the sun. So no harm would be done to the nation if these things are debated. It shows the caliber of the parliamentarian, the kind of material he is bringing to the House and talking about it, and the kind of endorsement he is getting from none other than the Prime Minister of India.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because Hardeep Puri is now joining us on the show, but I suspect tomorrow is going to be even more critical. Let's just hope that at least the kind of things we saw in the Lok Sabha today are not repeated in the Rajya Sabha, because after all, let's have some dignity, some level of political discourse left in our country. The people are watching us. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, for joining me.